Okay, hi everyone. We are looking at your prelim section C, the last question for question 5, 5D, which is your essay question. Okay, now generally it's not so well done. Most of you are start with low L2. Very rarely a lot of you go on to L3. Okay, one of the main reasons is because you're not explaining properly. Okay, now before I go into that, first things first, all right, just a reminder, regardless of which essay question, whether it's in section B or section C, you must deal with the given factor first. Okay, what do you mean given perspective? So for example, this question, the given perspective is this statement: earthquake pose greater harm to man. Okay, so you must show this side first, explain it well. Once this hit L2, the rest of the essay can go beyond L2. Okay, but if this is not explained at all, the maximum you're going to get for the whole, no matter how well you're done with this part, the whole essay is going to be a maximum L1 3 marks. Okay, this is not my rules, this is the examiner's rules. They feel that it is important for you to deal with the given perspective first. Okay, if it's not explained, cannot get anything beyond L1. All right, so next, what to explain. The question asks you about greater harm to man. To man, if you tell me the buildings, less buildings are damaged, where is the harm? Okay, so let's unpack what do we mean by harm. All right, now some of you may think harm, what comes to your mind? Some of you say injuries, deaths. Yes, that is harm. Okay, but buildings collapse, lost property, is that a harm? Not really. Okay, so if you check the dictionary, harm means physical injury. All right, if you check, you see, physical harm means physical or mental damage, some form of damage or injury. All right, even if you check the Cambridge dictionary, physical or injury or damage, to hurt someone or damage something. Okay, so the person being injured and damaged must come in. All right, so if you just focus on properties damage, you have not explained to the question. Okay, so you must focus it on injuries and deaths. All right, uh some of you said it caused mental trauma. Okay, where is the damage then? So how the trauma then further leads to self-harm or depression or even suicidal thoughts must come in. Okay, because mental trauma, then people can just recover, what, right? So what do you mean by mental trauma? How is it a harm? Need to go on to talk about explaining it. Okay, now a lot of patchy explanations that we want you to take note of. Okay, so some of you talk about volcano, buildings collapse because of earthquake shaking. Okay, so you said buildings collapse. Okay, sorry, let me deal with it. All right, first things first, when you deal with this, right, okay, you must be very clear what is the role of earthquake. Some of you just jump straight to saying that buildings will collapse. All right, but what's the role of earthquake? How did earthquake deal with it? Okay, so maybe it's the shaking from the earthquake. Okay, how it caused the buildings to lose support and hence collapse. All right, now if the role of earthquake is not clear, then it will not be, I'm unable to understand why it causes harm. Okay, so this is the details portion. Your details need to be very clear. What is the role of earthquake? Then I can understand how it subsequently leads to harm. Like for example, after it collapses, it will crush people or whatever. Okay, then that's why it causes injuries and deaths and things like that. All right, so if you're not clear, then it'll be, my head will be, how what's going on? Did the earthquake go around with dynamite, or they run around with a knife, or what? Okay, so please be clear what exactly happened. Now the volcanic eruption part is not very well done because there's a lot of misconception. A lot of you are writing it as without being clear. Why is it hazardous? Okay, now first let me deal with volcanic eruption. What are the different things in the erupting volcano? Okay, so this is a typical shield volcano. As you can see, lava may fly around. Okay, this is some of the gases that it releases. Okay, maybe I'll choose Merapi, it will be better, or Pinatubo. Ash cloud and pyroclastic. Okay, a lot of misconceptions that I'd like to clarify. Okay, this is okay. Now this is a good one. All right. Now, when volcano erupt, especially strato, they can cause a lot of they can erupt a lot of ash into the sky. This is the ash cloud. Okay, Now, ash cloud does not equals to pyroclastic flow. What's pyroclastic flow? These are pyroclastic flow. You see these are, oops, not this one. Okay, so let me, maybe I'll zoom in over here with you. Okay, so you see the ash erupting up, right? Now, sometimes there's too much ash in the sky, they will collapse. As you can see, the ash collapsing and then rushing down the slope at fast speed. Sometimes it's even faster than a speeding car. Okay, so these whole super hot ash rushing down the slope, in between there's rocks, huge rocks and boulders tumbling. That is your pyroclastic flow. Okay, so you can see ash cloud fly into the sky, fly in the atmosphere, and then they, do whatever pollution or whatever. Okay, but pyroclastic flow is not the same as ash cloud. It's made out of the ash, yes, but it runs down the slope. Okay, so a lot of you are very clear that pyroclastic flow can, leave ashes and whatnot, and even burn people, because pyroclastic flow is very hot. All right, but a lot of you did not tell me what is its characteristics. Okay, so the whole idea about it, that pyroclastic flow can be very hot, can be very fast, is not mentioned. Okay, that is why it is not that's why it's not convincing. It's not, the explanation of how it causes harm is not convincing. Okay, a lot of people talk about laha. All right, laha, what is laha? For the last time, laha is just ash with water. Okay, so it could be the ash with rain, it can be ash ash with rain, or ash that mixes with river or whatever. Okay, now laha, why is it hazardous? A lot of you did not talk about it. A lot of you just say there is laha and then buildings will be buried and humans will be buried. Okay, if the laha is super slow, why would people be affected? Okay, so the idea, what's the thing about laha that makes it hazardous? Number one, the sheer volume of it. It's like it can just come in and bury the whole town. Okay, so Pinatubo, laha, before, after. All right, if you take a look at the before after pictures of like Pinatubo in Philippines in 1991, okay, as you can see, how big is the volume? All right, so this was a village. Yes, oh my goodness. Okay, so as you can see, this village, it came in and flooded this whole valley, buried the whole village. So this was the village building, and once the laha rushed in, it got buried over like that. Okay, until it reaches the roof. The whole area. This is the amount of volume of laha that comes in. Okay, and next you must talk about how fast it is. You don't give me the exact number, 65 kilometers, but tell me that it moves very quickly. That's why people cannot outrun it and they may get buried. Okay, so this is laha from Mount Merapi. I think this is in one of the 2010s eruption. Okay, so you can see how fast it flows. Okay, as you can see, like it's like a flood water like that. Okay, look at the sheer volume of it. Okay, so if you don't bring in these ideas, then how will we know that it causes harm? Okay, so please, when you all memorize things, right, understand, yes, good to know the content, but please curate, tweak it to answer the question. Okay, don't just dump whole paragraphs, expect us to understand, expect people to try to make sense of it for you as to how it answers the question. Okay, another example of non-harm. Some of you go and dump the whole paragraph about economic damage. They lose their jobs, lose income. Why is that a harm? Lower standard of living is not a harm. They're not injured. Okay, then the worst, some of you talk about how because they less income, they cannot buy luxury goods. How is not buying luxury goods a harm? Okay, so please focus your explanation to the question. Then you will see that you write lesser and can get a lot more marks. Okay, some of the better essays that get L37 or L38 actually covered only one page. Okay, and there were L26 answers. I know there were some of you very strategic. There's not enough time, so you just do two sides and you didn't provide conclusion. Okay, some of the L26 answers that explain both sides well only take out like 3/4 of a page. Okay, so please be strategic, and please plan and answer the question. That way you will write less and yet you can get more marks. Okay,